Right, hi guys, I hope you're good this afternoon. We're going to be taking you through the process of the epoxy primer application on the Mark II Escort. You might have seen this recently. We've been doing some welding repairs on it. It's in its bodywork primer at the moment, so it can sit in this indefinitely. But if within a 6-month time frame you've carried out all your repairs, all you have to do is panel wipe the surface off and you can go straight to our epoxy primer. So if I show you our technology process chart, this is for the Novel 4 classic car system. Starts off with our bodywork primer, which is on it at the moment. Then we're going to put our epoxy primer on. We will do our filler work, which is the blue light or elastic fibre or aluminium, which are glass fibre based fillers. Then it will go to our polyester spray filler. We actually do this in an aluminium version as well for areas of extreme high temperature, like a roof on a black car, possibly a bonnet, an engine compartment. But on the Escort, we're just going to be going with the basic or the standard polyester spray filler. Then it will get prepped up, ready to go to the isolator primer. Now the isolator is basically a 1-to-1 wet on wet epoxy, and what this does, it just seals in that porous layer of all your filler work. So the bare metal's got the epoxy on, then your filler, polyester, which are both very porous. Then we put the isolator primer on, which, like I say, is a 1-to-1 wet on wet epoxy, and that locks all those porous layers in. Then we'll prep all that, go to our acrylic filler, which is a high build primer, prep all that, and then obviously we'll choose what colour system we're going to use, really depending on the colour and what the customer's looking for. So it'll either be in our direct gloss, our waterborne base coat, or our solvent base coat. And then it will end up, whatever one of those systems we go with, we'll go with a few coats of our classic car CSR premium clear coat. So anyway, I just want to say to you guys, look, I'm absolutely blown away by the feedback and the actual success we've had with our Pinkies blocks. It's been phenomenal, you know. Everybody's loving using them. They're comfortable, lightweight, and that's the sort of feedback we're getting, which is brilliant. And the biggest benefit I'd say about these, from using them for the last 6 months, is just how clean you can keep your workshop, you know. The dust extraction is phenomenal, and to my mind, you know, if you've got a clean workshop, it keeps your whole place clean. So right down to your spray booth, painting the cars, cleaner jobs. So, you know, they're a win-win in every respect in that way. Now, if you haven't seen them, here's a full set. So they come in this set of 5. These are actually my children's names, which they weren't quite sure about, but now they're all done, they're quite cool about it, really. So I'll quickly just show you this. So this is the Elizabeth. As you can see, they've all got full dust extraction. They're all hook and loop as well. Pretty much every manufacturer's paper will go on here. We use Abranet at the moment. For us, we've just used it for a long while. It works really well. It doesn't clog up, and the extraction is phenomenal with it. They're super lightweight. They've got a lovely texture to them. This neoprene cover is just so very comfortable. The main reason I developed these really is because I just wanted something that had dust extraction, but as you can see, a bit of flex as well for those sort of longer panels, you know. So that's why we come up with these, and like I say, everyone's really enjoying them. Right, but the only problem is at the moment we're struggling with raw material to have these manufactured. So at the moment we've actually had to shut the website down because the production's not come to a standstill. We've got some in production, but it's just slow because we're waiting for the raw materials. So if you are interested in buying set these, if you go on the website, you can just register your details on there. As soon as they're available, we'll be in contact. You can go back on the website and go ahead and buy yourself a set. Right, so I'm going to go and get changed into my gear, obviously air-fed mask, paint suit, and we're going to get some of the Novel for classic car epoxy primer on the Escort. It's sitting in there. there's the bonnet. Let me just go in and show you. So in the booth, it's fully masked up. We're not actually going to epoxy inside or underneath the car, because inside the car, what we will do when we've got the rest of the car already prepped and ready to paint, we'll just do the whole inside of this car in a wet on wet process. So it will just actually get 3 coats of our isolator primer, and then we can just let that flash off for 40 minutes and go straight wet on wet. You know, it's not a rally car that's got to look absolutely amazing inside. It's going to have all its interior in it, so you'll never end up seeing any of that. The underneath of this car, that will get some wet on wet epoxy when the time comes. A couple of coats of our Novel Cobra, which is a bit like a 2-pack, a bit like the Raptor, if everyone knows what the Raptor is. So it's a 2-pack bed liner type of material, but we can tint this to the colour of the car. So we're going to put a couple of coats underneath that. So at the moment, we're just going to epoxy the whole outside in the engine compartment. As you can see, that's sort of ready to go. All masked up. I'll show you underneath this car how we've masked it. We just roll it over a little bit. Yeah, so there's the underneath, all masked up and ready to go in epoxy. Right, so I'll be back with you in a minute and we'll get some on there. Right, so we're going to mix some epoxy primer for the Escort. I'd just like to say before we go ahead and do that, if you like what we do, it'd be great if you could subscribe to our channel. You know, it really means a lot to us. We're trying to grow this channel, just show that you guys the sort of things we do here. We have some great cars. We're getting a lot of good feedback for the channel so far, so that's really good, and we're enjoying making the videos. We're not that brilliant, but we're getting a little bit better, I hope you think. So yeah, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell, and you can follow our crazy stuff if you like. We're going to show you how we mix this. The Novel system isn't on our app for all our other stuff, on our software for everything else. So we've actually got an app that you can download, which is called Car Colour. So we'll show you now. We're going to mix the primer, this epoxy primer. So we go to mixing additives and Novel for classic car primers, and that's got the different primers. So we're going to select the epoxy primer, which is 3:1. We go down here and we put in how much total product we want to mix. So we're going to go 1400 to start with. We want to mix it with thinners. So we'll add, as you can see there, 20% thinners, and then we can go to our scales and then we can weigh out all these different items, so we actually know that we're getting everything exactly right. You know, there's no guesswork in this. We need, you know, these are precision chemicals we're working with, and you have to get the mixtures right, especially on something like this. You know, this is the foundation of our whole job. If this is wrong, you know, you'll have problems forever. So it's just belts and braces, make sure everything's just so. You know, everyone talks about it's all in the hours of preparation when you paint cars. Well, this is part of the prep, to my mind, you know, just getting everything dead right. So we've weighed out this, so now we're just going to zero our scale, and now we're going to weigh out our epoxy hardener, which is 294.91 grams.
You can see the evacuation. It's the smoke test for the air fed. It's very good.
Air fed smoke test.
Take one.
That right there is A-class air fed.
Right guys, so I'll give you a quick look round. We'll be quick because the booth's on bake. It's about 70 degrees in here at the moment, so just a quick whiz round it just to show you the epoxy. There you go, we'll make it really quick. Like I say, it's really hot in here at the moment. But you can see it's got a good sheen to it as well, this epoxy primer. So you can actually help you see the shape of the panels. Right, so let's get out of there. Right guys, that's it, ready to go to its next stage now. Get on with the filler work and stuff like that. This particular epoxy, you have to actually leave it for 24 hours before you can go to the next stage, which is the filler. So that'll be ready Monday to start getting some filler work done on. Right, look guys, thanks for watching.